Hello people of the earth and welcome back to QuickSaveTV. My name is Mike and today I will do my best to teach you how to play, build and spec Vayne in League of Legends. Vayne is an AD carry that has a devastating burst late game as well as a variety of ways to engage and escape her opponents. Her Q, Tumble, allows her to easily bridge the gap between her and her enemy, avoiding his skill shots as well as getting the position for her E, Condemn. In my opinion, Vayne's Q is one of the strongest utilitarian abilities in the game, because if you're good enough you will be able to dodge majority of skill shots as well as area of effect ultis. Her E, Condemn, fires a powerful bolt that is also pushing the enemy backwards. If the enemy collides with a wall or a turret, he will be stunned for 1.5 seconds and receive double damage from E. Her E also applies her passive W, making it an excellent finisher or opener when you have to engage your enemy. Vayne's W, Silver Bolts, is a passive that will deal some extra damage on third hit, provided that you focus on the same target. Shooting anybody but your initial target will drop the stacks and start accumulating them on another target instead. The great thing about Silver Bolts is that they deal initial damage as well as a percentage from enemy health through damage, however, they don't scale off of your stats. Vayne's R, the Final Hour, empowers her, increasing her attack damage and improving her passive effect by the magnitude of 3, as well as making it so that whenever you're using your Q, you're entering stealth for 1 second. Final Hour has many uses and is on relatively short cooldown. I encourage you to use Final Hour whenever your support is being focused down after stun, when you need to push your enemy back, or when you simply need to retreat and 1 second stun could potentially save your life. Vayne's passive, Night Hunter, increases her movement speed by 30 whenever she is moving toward enemy champions. This ability is exceptionally useful when trying to chase them down or getting into the fight. The way I recommend you to level her is to max your E first, then max your W if enemy team doesn't have too many CCs, and if they do, max your Q second instead. The reason behind this thought process is a simple strategy evaluation. Q, although does give you a lot of mobility, is really good for nothing when it comes for actual damage. Having maxed out E first will make it so that whenever your enemy gets overeager or overly confident, you will be able to pin him to the wall and dish a ton of damage, making it nearly impossible for him to continue the fight. Having your W after your E is a great addition as well, as they seem to synergize very well. After you stun the enemy and get 1 stack of Silver Bolts, it is not hard to finish your rotation and get 2 additional hits. Her rotation may be one of the most devastating amongst AD carries, considering how the enemy cannot fight her back. Alternatively, having your Q faster than your W will allow you to remain mobile and avoid much more skill shots, but will punish you in terms of pure damage. Alright, that should do for the skills. Now let's talk about Masteries and Summoner spells. Before we start, you have to understand that your Summoner spells usually supply your playstyle. You should not be afraid to experiment. I think it is viable thus to consider Flash, Heal, Exhaust, Cleanse, and Ignite. Exhaust would allow you to outdamage enemy AD carry in a fight or to secure a kill against a running opponent. Cleanse would prove very useful if you like to play aggressively and as a result get caught by Taric, Leona or Blitzcrank. Flash is almost a must-have, seeing how you are a fragile thing and if you get caught in one too many ultis, you will fall apart like a cart house. Heal is one of the unorthodox but very effective tools for an AD carry, because of a passive in defensive masteries and the heal itself, which will be immensely useful against characters that have finishers for their ultis, such as Caitlyn, Karthus or Vladimir. My personal favorites are Heal and Flash, because they provide me with a fail-safe mechanism when I am under a constant pressure, and also expand the ways in which I can exploit enemy positioning to my advantage. Alright, let's talk about Masteries and Runes now. For Vayne, I really like my 2109 build. For the offensive tree, just take most of the stuff on the left. For me, that is everything except Summoner's Wrath, because I don't use Exhaust or Ignite. On your defense tree, take everything you can to get more health and some magic resistance. Doing so will give you about 230 hit points at level 18, giving you a distinct advantage of 1 additional item, without having to buy one. For your runes, take flat attack damage for red, flat armor as your yellows, scaling magic resist on blue, and lifesteal quintessences. I'm not sure if the lifesteal quintessences are the best thing in the world for an AD carry, but they do help me immensely in laning phase against superior opponents. They also allow me to be more flexible in my builds, because having a passive 6% lifesteal substitutes for not having a Doran or a Vampiric Scepter early game. Now items. After a week of testing and manipulating with the slots available, I have come to a final build that seems to be working very well against majority of my opponents. Your final build should look something like this: Berserker Greaves with Fervor, Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, Zephyr, Last Whisper, and Infinity Edge. The goal I was trying to achieve with this build is to get the most mobility in combination with damage I could, trying to forgo classic items such as Guardian Angel, and some of the questionable choices such as Runan's Hurricane or Static Shiv. In my eyes, it's not necessary to be forgiven for your mistakes as Vayne, seeing as you leave little to no chance to an enemy if you catch him off position or trap him in the bush. Your burst is tremendously devastating late game, and if your fighters know what they're doing, your enemy should not be able to reach you that easily. The main reason why I take Zephyr over an additional Phantom Dancer or a Guardian Angel is because of the 10% movement speed and 35% tenacity. Bonus speed will let you engage and disengage quicker, allowing hit and run tactics in both teamfights and in snatching enemy turrets. Bonus tenacity will let you stay in stun and slowdowns for much less time, letting you escape the sure death with your Q in fights against Veigar, Ahri, Rammus, Shen, and others. On the screen right now, you will see how I advise you to build these items and in which succession. Now, this guide was based off of 70 games as Vayne at level 30, 17 of which were ranked in Elo of 1200 to 1400. I really hope this tutorial was helpful for you, and if it was, please do not forget to put a like on this video and subscribe to my channel to see more. Comment on your impressions. Specifically, I would like to hear what you think about Zephyr, if you tried it before or if you think it's a waste of an item. Thanks for watching and listening, have a greatest day, and I'll see you soon.